Hi, Stacey. How are you going?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'll just share with the audience that we've literally gone through your house now, trying to find the perfect light, and you it's great. We
We're
went
going
from
with the green.
yeah, we're going with the green. It was pitch black. It was outside. It was so bright we could hardly see you, and this is the best that we're going to go. It's just so wonderful to have you with us today. And
Yeah.
I'm so sure that we're just going to be able to just get, so much really good conversation coming out of this from the perspective that you're going to be giving. So before we get onto that, how about you let us know a little bit about yourself, perhaps, where you come from and perhaps what you do for work. And then we'll talk about how the pandemic has possibly impacted on your life.
Yeah. So where have I come from? Well, I'm in South Auckland. I'm growing up and now raise my children in South Auckland. I haven't moved very far, but yeah, and I am a golf coach for a living. So my I'm in my first year of my trainee apprenticeship, so I'm playing and studying and teaching. It's massive. It's
Wow, sounds full on.
big 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. And yeah, I guess I have 2 kids and a husband and family. Yeah, that's me really.
Yeah, which is wonderful. And so with your golf coaching, I've seen some posts obviously, and we've got the regulations in place now around we can't have, big gatherings and kids shouldn't be playing sport and all this other kind of stuff. But I believe that your golf can still go ahead.
Yeah, so we're really, really, really lucky that golf is my chosen sport and that my clients choose to play golf as their chosen sport. The guidelines that are coming out around that are that we can still continue, but we have to make some changes. So we can't touch the flag sticks, we can't have the rakes in the bunkers. We're trying to find ways to keep the ball from going all the way in the hole. Not touching like other people's balls. So I actually just said that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She said that, folks.
Oh, it came out but quick.
Don't touch other people's things, okay?
You touch your own.
After you've washed your hands.
Any better.
Yeah, just not after disinfectant, right? Now we're hungry.
Yeah. So made some changes and really, really awesome proactive PGA in New Zealand. They've gone across to the World Alliance and found out what we can still do to keep ourselves and our clients safe in our coaching sessions and our I do a lot of group coaching, so how we can do that. But really lucky, golf is a sport that has a lot of social distancing anyway.
Depends on where you hit the ball, right?
Yeah, right. So if you're in the woods, like it's pretty isolated.
I'd be like, I'm alone in the woods. Yay. All by myself.
Yeah. So I'm pretty lucky right now that we're able to do that. And then from that perspective, I guess it's just helping people stay active and still being able to connect with other people. And it still feels relatively normal on the golf course at the moment, which is something that people are kind of looking for. Is turn up on the golf course, people are like, oh, it still feels normal around here.
Yeah.
So.
And so this might actually be a good time, if any, and that of course depends on whatever happens tomorrow. We don't know, but if anybody was looking to find something to focus on other than the stress and the chaos and the unknown, would be to perhaps, take up golf. Who knows? I mean, if this is a sport that's stated that it's actually okay, people need to make informed decisions and they need to be okay with their decisions. but there are still people, like you say, who are still getting out. There may be some people who will be like, you shouldn't be doing that. Everybody should be staying inside. And I know that there's a petition that's been going around saying everybody in New Zealand should be on lockdown compulsory because our cases have increased. So, that's all up in arms right now, right? But I guess what I'm hearing is it's so important to still see that there is an end, and that there is a possibility to be creative and to take up something new. If it's not golf, for example, it could be studying a new course. It could be learning how to cook. It could be learning how to communicate with your family, because you're hardly ever home. So people who are working 2 jobs, maybe they've been told not to come, and now they're stuck with their family, and then they're kind of going, I don't know anything about these kids of mine, or, oh, this is my wife, and so there's this opportunity to, I guess, step outside of that comfort zone and to try something that's different, right?
Yeah. So we are always assessing that ability to play, and constantly looking at that. There's no reason why you can't go out and play 18 holes by yourself, to be honest. But I think that from my clients, and I ran an event today, I had 18 women turn up. They're all spaced out. No one had to touch anything. No one had to touch anybody. And it was completely contactless. But there was still socialization, and there was still exercise, and there was still oxygen flowing through our brains, and a lot of people that were really thankful for that and grateful to be able to still have that. And so, for me, I feel like it's important to still be connecting with people and still be doing the things that you do enjoy. It might not be, it might be that you enjoy baking, or you enjoy sewing, or whatever those things are, is finding those things and doing those things. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think what it also does is it helps us to be distracted just for a moment from everything else that's going on in our head. It gives us an opportunity to get out of our thoughts and out of our fears and out of our concerns, and just immerse ourselves in something else for 5 minutes or half a day, for a full day, whatever it is. It gives us that opportunity to just have a reset, just to have a little mental break where we can just not think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's people that are looking for what those things are, and there's people who are, like I think alluded to in my post earlier, that just that anxiety that people are feeling, and that really massive, like I actually woke up, I think it was 2 or 3 mornings ago, and it was 2 mornings in a row that I actually woke up really anxious. My headspace was okay. I was in a good space in terms of how I was thinking I was feeling, but my body was saying something completely different. And being able to go to the golf course and walk around and do that stuff was really helpful for me. And I think there's a lot of people feeling that thing, and sometimes they're feeling that for the first time and they don't know what to do. And I'm lucky that it's not the first time I've experienced those things, and I have some coping strategies and I have some coping mechanisms that I've been taught. But I think that's the thing to be really mindful of, is that everyone is kind of dealing with it in a different way, and it's affecting people differently. And so what is it that you can do that, we're looking at the things that we can't do, but what are the things that we still can do? And I personally, I can still go and play golf, I can still work out, I can still go for a walk, I can still eat healthy. All of that stuff I can still do. There's lots of stuff that I can't do. If I wanted to focus on that, then sure. But I think it's important to look at our people and see how they're coping. You look at the panic buying in the supermarket, and I just see people who are trying to control something. Lots of things that they can't control, but they can control how much food is in their house and how prepared they feel for that. You can say, oh, it's selfish and it's this and it's that, but actually that's what people are trying to do, to try and control some of that anxiety and manage that anxiety. it's trying to look at the empathy of where people are actually coming from, how people are really feeling. And I think,
sorry,
no, you go.
I was going to say that exactly what you just said there is that just because we're not talking about how we're feeling, we can't always, or we're not always aware that how we're acting is indicative of how we're feeling. You've got people who are looking incredibly calm on the outside. That might just be how they're presenting themselves because they don't want to show that they are spinning out on the inside. And you've got people who are spinning out on the inside and who then go and fight over toilet paper. While that might appear to be absolutely irrational behavior, it's incredibly real for them. Because of where it is that they're coming from. And it's not just an isolated incident, our feelings and everything from when we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, years of age, everything that we've had ingrained in us, whether it's learned fear or whether it's fear that we've experienced and now we're kind of going, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. Or, whether, it's like your mum says, if you, go to sleep with wet hair, you're going to get a cold. You're going to get a cold. That maybe we're somebody who from a young age has always watched apocalyptic movies. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's all going to happen. The aliens are going to arrive next, And it's just like that, it's all ingrained in us, right? And it all builds up over time and we collect it and we store it. And then something happens that then triggers this release of fear and panic and emotions. And we don't always know what to do with that because we're so used to keeping it contained for the most part, And so then we have, like you say, we have people, hey, good cough, by the way. Saw you do that.
It's my elbow.
Yeah, I like that. Well done, Good demonstration.
I'm not isolating, by the way. I'm not actually.
But I think it's a true point because if you can stand back outside and you can get out of a judgment zone, right, and you can be like, I wonder what is going on for them. You then have a chance for your own growth, which is something that has come up in previous videos. You have a chance to see things from an outside perspective as opposed to from inside your eyes looking out. You get to go, wow, some people are finding this really threatening and really hard. And there is a bunch of elevated anxiety everywhere. I mean, in New Zealand, it's maybe not as high as what it is in Italy, or France or the United Kingdom. It's elevated regardless. It's something that we are not used to feeling. We're all used to dealing with stress, most of us, I guess. But this is a different kind of stress, And for somebody who's prone to anxiety, having this on top of everything else that they've been feeling in their life, I mean, this could be, this is the difference between experience a level 5 out of 10 and a satisfaction and happiness with your life to a level 1, which totally the opposite. And so you mentioned anxiety earlier, and I just wondered whether there would be any advice that you might give to somebody who is starting to go down that spiral of anxiety or who is feeling shut off or who is feeling absolutely petrified about whatever this unknown bug is that's flying around and landing unsuspectingly on people. How do we deal with
paranoia of washing hands? Holy moly!
Yeah, I mean, and that in itself is going to create so many. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a psychologist or a doctor or anything, but that's going to stick with people. There's going to be a lot of OCD tendencies that are now going to come out because as soon as someone's got a cold, you're like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And be and feel it.
And it just, I've touched something, I'm spreading germs.
Yeah, can't touch anything.
Yeah, I think I can only really advise from my own perspective of where I've been in the past, but act early in terms of seeking help and telling people that you're not feeling okay. There's a lot of people feeling that way, and there's a lot of people who understand feeling that way. So my advice there is talk early about it, and if they're not listening, talk more and talk to more people. I know that's hard because you're not just going to bump into people to talk to them about it at the moment. You're actually going to have to pick up the phone and tell someone I'm not okay, or put a post on Facebook and say I'm not okay. But I think it's really important to act early on that stuff, particularly if you've never felt this way before and you don't understand it and you don't know what's going on.
And to feel that it's not a weakness.
No, not at all.
Asking for help is not a weakness. In fact, it's a strength. You know, not asking for help is more demonstration of weakness, right? If you can stand up and you can actually say, I need some help here, please, anything. I just need someone to talk me down, talk me up, you know, talk, whatever it is. That's not a weakness. And also having anxiety is also not a weakness.
No.
You know, it's about learning how you cope.
Yeah. And if that's not working, then just go to the doctor. Like, just honestly book an appointment, go to the doctor, and if they don't do a full assessment on you, go back. There are counsellors that are still working through these times, and they're probably really busy. There are helplines that are available, and there are things and tools that we can use. But I think the important thing is to keep talking to people and stay connected with people. And that might just be checking in, hey, how are you doing? And you don't get a response, then send another one. And if you still don't get a response, then ring them. You know, just look after people. And I think the other thing is there are tools, like there's loads of meditation apps to help learning to breathe and do all that kind of stuff. So, you know, do a bit of research on that, and you'll probably find ways that you can cope. Go for a walk. I know sometimes it's the thing that you don't want to do. You just want to stay home and be isolated from it all and just shut everything down and move away from it. But go for a walk. Get that oxygen moving through your brain. Learn the deep breathing exercises that everyone talks about. They're incredibly helpful. I find, particularly with anxiety, is your diaphragm basically freezes. You just end up with massive stomach cramps. And so those pains that you feel in your stomach is just your diaphragm completely shutting in on you. So learning to do that deep breathing and open all of that up is really important. But yeah, talk to people, seek help early. This is not a normal situation for anybody. So anybody that's experienced any of that for the first time, it can be scary. Really scary. And some people are like, oh, I never feel like that. You know, I'm good. I'm fine. And to be honest, that was me 3 years ago. I never thought I'd ever be someone to suffer from mental illness, but it happens and it sneaks up on you sometimes. And sometimes it just hits you really hard and you never thought it would ever happen to you. So those are the people that I sort of have concern over. I think if you've been there before, you've probably got some tools in the bag. If you've never been there before, it's quite new to you. You've really got to think early on how you can pull yourself out of it. Not pull yourself out of it, but get the help to help you out. And because I think if you go and you talk to people about it, there's lots of people feeling the same.
Lots of people are living behind a mask of I'm right, I'm okay. You're panicking. I'm not. I'm all right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm fine.
I can do this. I'm holding myself together for my family.
You know, and I think, you know, that a lot of that is just how we have taught ourselves to get through really hard times. You know, we don't want to show people, it's tall poppy syndrome in New Zealand. We don't want to show people that we are coping more than other people. You know, we don't want to say anything that's going to set us apart from other people. You know, so now is our opportunity to kind of put that aside and to go, you know what, I am actually coping. How can I help somebody who isn't coping? Or the same token, I am not coping at all. I need to turn towards somebody who has said that they can help. I need to ask for help, you know. And anything, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if throughout this entire process, we do see a rise in things like anxiety, in depression, in suicides, in, you know, any of the other range of things that could actually happen on a emotional and mental level, because we are not necessarily always taught coping mechanisms. You know, if we've had a really hard run in life, we've probably got a certain amount of coping. We've probably got a certain amount of resilience that's going on. But if we haven't, if life's been plain sailing, and now you've just bought a house and you've got great jobs and you've, mortgaged right up to the eyeballs, and now both of you are losing your jobs, and but you've never had this before. These are the people who are going to be like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not okay. I'm, a sense of doom, basically.
Yeah.
So definitely having that support, knowing where to go, jumping onto Google, there'll be helplines, that I'm sure have got their phones ringing off the hook.
Yeah. But my advice on that is just don't stop until you've got what you need to get you through that, learn what you need to get through, because there are people out there that will help. Not every door that you knock on isn't necessarily going to be that door, but just keep going and keep asking for help, and just stay connected with people. That was I think that's my message, if we could probably go there already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that we're going to go into self-isolation. We're going to be away from our usual routines, our work conversations, our school pick up and drop off conversations. All that stuff is eventually going to come and quieten down, and if it hasn't already for you. And I think it's really important that you stay connected with people. You might not be able to leave the house and go and see those people, but call them, ring them up, send them messages, face video with people, you're gonna your husband's probably, if you've got a husband, probably gonna get sick of being hugged, because you're not, like me, I'm a bit of a hugger. I
need my hug quota. Come on, hubby.
I know, and I'm so not getting that at the moment. So just find those ways and stay connected with people.
I love that.
Through all of this. I think it's really important. Yeah,
I love that. I think that that's a really awesome message, because it is a time where you can feel isolated, and where you do isolate yourself because you don't want anyone to see that you are struggling. Whereas it's actually quite the opposite that we should be doing now. So thank you for that.
No problem.
That's really awesome. And thank you so much for coming out, because you can't, but pretend. Thanks for coming out to see me at my house.
Thanks for coming on my tour of my house.
I love that. I love that. I wish you had left the record button on. That would have been amazing. Everyone would have been like, what are we doing? Why is there a ghost story? No one's going to know what we're talking about. But anyway, let me finish up here. We'll say goodbye, and and I'll post it up, and then just share it, spread the word. Let's get your story out there. I think it's a really good one for people to hear.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura.
All right. Thanks so much, Stacey. See you then.
See ya.
Bye.